Welcome viewers, I'm Sarah and you're watching Southern Reefer. Now before we meet these beautiful clownfish that are enjoying their new home in my office reef tank, I'd like to introduce you to my freshwater fish. Meet TC, short for traffic cone because he's as orange as, yeah, I know, and Autumn, who's a little camera shy. These guys are Ryukin goldfish, and they're the ones that really got me back into the hobby after years of transitions. College, careers, marriage, raising a family, you name it. I don't know what really made me return to fish keeping. Maybe this is my midlife crisis hobby. But one day I decided to raise fancy goldfish. I picked Ryukins because I love their bright colors, flowy tails, and peaceful dispositions, and TC and Autumn do not disappoint. But I've had these guys for a couple of years now, and I was ready for a new adventure. So back in February or March of this year, I started doing some research online, looking at different types of aquariums, and I stumbled upon a very special YouTube channel called CJ's Aquariums. CJ has an entire series called the JBJ 45 All-in-One Reef, and if you're looking to take the plunge into the saltwater aquarium hobby, I'd highly recommend you watch his videos. He's funny, he's informative, and he's very open and honest about his experiences. His videos gave me the confidence to purchase my own JBJ 45, which I did at the beginning of April. I swear it was like Christmas at my house when the tank and all its accessories arrived. I immediately got down to the business of unboxing it, checking it for cracks and breaks, which amazingly there were none, and assembling the stand in my garage. Then I sweet-talked my long-suffering husband into helping me with some of the plumbing modifications I wanted to make because plumbing and I don't get along, which makes no sense. Anyway, I really liked some of the upgrades that Marine Depot recommended for the JBJ 45, so once those were done, we filled up the tank and leak tested it for 48 hours. Here's a good shot of the tank filling up where you can see the water draining through the sump into the display through 3 small holes near the bottom. I still really don't understand the purpose of these holes. They're more of a pain from a tank maintenance standpoint than anything, but I'll talk about that in a later video. Thankfully, the tank and all the pumps passed testing, so my husband and I emptied out all the water, packed everything up, drove it all across town, and reassembled everything in my office where it stands today. So how do I get water into my tank? At first I hooked my water filtration system to my kitchen sink at home to make RO water. I used 10 5-gallon carboys to package a total of 50 gallons for transport. Then I visited my local fish store and selected my live rock and sand. A big shout out to Ryan, Tony, Anthony, and Barry at Aquarium Outfitters for all their help that first month. After that, it was time to head to my office so I could aquascape my tank. I wanted to create a design that looked natural and gave the fish plenty of room for swimming, but also gave them a few nooks and crannies to hide in. Then it was time to add the sand, RO water, and salt to the tank, fire up the pumps, and watch the dust bath. But within a day or two, the tank had completely cleared out and looked stunning under blue lights. Honestly, I'm not sure which I like better, the blue lights or the cool white lights of the Radion LEDs. I even think the lightning effect is pretty awesome, but several of my colleagues thought the light was malfunctioning, and even I found it was distracting while I was trying to work, so I removed that feature from the lighting program. I can't say I've missed it, but I like that it's an option if I want to add it back. The next few weeks I let the tank cycle with my power head running at 100%. As you can see, the current is very strong and made short work of redistributing my nice level sand bed. I also took this time to take PAR readings of every place on the rock where I might want to locate coral. I basically mapped everything out on a photo I took of the tank and then used sticky notes to select places I thought corals would do well based on the PAR reading and water flow at each location. I'm going for a softy/LPS mixed tank, and I may be dreaming beyond what the JBJ 45 can reasonably sustain, but I'm going to stay flexible and see what looks best as I begin adding corals. Now to adding livestock. I was out of town for the next several weeks, but by the time I returned, the tank was cycled and I was ready for fish. I'd planned on adding a cleanup crew first, but I didn't turn my lights on over the tank while I was gone, so I had no algae for them to eat. Anyway, I drove to Aquarium Outfitters with my empty acclimate in hand and returned to the office with the male and female true percula clownfish. Now I know you're supposed to mount the acclimate to your tank, but mine would not hold suction no matter what I tried, so I had to rig it to work from an office chair instead. I'm not sure who was more stressed by the end of that, me or the fish, but the acclimation was successful, thank goodness. So what's next? I have big plans for this little reef, including adding a cleanup crew, corals, and more fish, of course. Basically, I'm here to document my thoughts and experiences, update you on how things are going, and answer any questions you might have. I hope to turn this blank canvas of rock and sand into something really beautiful. Even without corals, it's already attracting a lot of attention here at work. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and drop me a line in the comments below. So far, I've been completely blown away by the generosity of the local reefers I've met, and anything I can do to pay that forward in the future, I hope I can do once I get a bit of experience under my belt. Happy reefing, y'all!